Man, I'm really happy about this comeback. You have no idea. Hi everyone, it's me, Grant, the movie and TV guy. Well, the reason I'm talking with Grant, everybody. We're here to talk about a movie that we're kind of catching up with, except that it didn't come to my town until today. So this was sort of a long time coming. It's been out about a month, but we're now finally going to check it out. We're going to watch a movie. Because movies and TV is what we do here, and that movie is The Whale. The Whale is directed by Darren Aronofsky, whose previous work includes the likes of Pi, Requiem for a Dream, The Fountain, The Wrestler, Black Swan, Noah, Mother, Mother! Exclamation point. And this is his latest film, and he is very much known for his bleak films. It's written by Samuel D. Hunter. It is based on his stage play, So What Is the Whale About? And who else is involved? Well, Brendan Fraser, in a terrific comeback performance that will certainly win him an Oscar, or definitely put him in contention right next to Austin Butler, plays Charlie. He is a online professor of English professor, who is extremely overweight, like 600, 700 pounds, I think, somewhere in that range. He can't move around on his own, this is about a week in his life that will actually be the final week of his life. That's not a spoiler to say, we know it from the beginning. He has congestive heart failure, and yet, despite the wishes of his nurse and dear friend, played by Hong Chow, he is refusing to go to the hospital, and within a week's time it will intensify and his heart will give out. In that time, he's decided that knowing he's going to die, and essentially wanting to die, he's suicidal, he needs to find some closure with his estranged daughter Ellie, played by Sadie Sink in another terrific performance. He needs to leave this plane of existence, knowing that she's going to be okay. He also needs to make amends with his ex-wife, who played briefly by Samantha Morton in a terrific extended cameo. Another movie where Samantha Morton is in one scene, and it is a major great scene in the movie right next to She Said. Because here's the kicker of why the estrangement happened. Almost 9 years prior to the film's events, when Ellie was just 8 years old, Charlie left her and her mother for a man, who happens to be Hong Chow's adoptive brother, and he committed suicide. And so that is what sent him. He was already a relatively big guy, but that is what spiraled him into basically what he wants. He's eating himself to death, basically. And as his condition worsens, can Charlie finally make things right before he goes? And also, what's the deal with this very persistent and very timid young missionary played by Ty Simpkins, who may or may not want to save Charlie's soul in more ways than one, and in more, let's say he may not have the best of intentions that he thinks he does. Let the tears flow, and the heartbreak begins. So, The Whale is, one thing I have to say, this movie has gotten some controversy. It has been polarizing critics. Audiences, though, who are usually hate Aronofsky, seem to love this one. Here's the thing. I'm going to be honest with you guys for a second. I think anyone who looks at me... Now, I'm not as bad as bad. I have not gotten to the point that he has in the film. Charlie has. I'm a big dude. I'm a little overweight. I think that's very clear to say. And there's been this sort of discussion of the portrayal of obesity in this film. the fact that Brendan Fraser had to wear prosthetic makeup, the fact that all this stuff to make him look big, all that aside, the fact that some people, even critic friends of mine who I really love, care for, and respect their opinion. I respect their opinion. Just state that they think that the movie is deeply, deeply, deeply sadistic towards Charlie and is mocking him and is making him look like some kind of monstrous thing. I don't see that at all. I see this movie truly. The Whale's phenomenal to me, and what I love about this movie is what I see it more as is the world around Charlie. The people around Charlie are different stages of complex, with the exception of Hong Chow, who's pretty much a saint. Everyone around him, particularly his daughter, are various shades of complex, and they have issues too. They're not completely, inhuman, but cruel. There's some level of cruel or afraid of Charlie or some kind of thing, and he is an eternal optimist, and he uses that optimism almost as a mask to cover how deeply sad he is. And he's also in that position, and this is why I think the heart of this movie is the relationship between him and Ellie. And I'm not going to mince words here. Sadie Sink's performance is terrific in a very particular way, is that you really kind of hate her character. And I mean hate in a way that not like you hate her performance. Her performance is phenomenal, but it's of a really detestable human being. I mean, you really hate this kid. You want to kind of grab this kid and say, "What are you doing? Why are you doing this?" But at the same time, Sadie Sink is such a good actress that she finds the inner humanity underneath, especially toward the end of the film. But I don't want to mince words. Her character is hateful. She's bigoted. She's, violent, at least in not so much physical aggression, but verbal aggression. She's verbally abusive, and she's homophobic, and ableist, and all the other things. But those characters exist in the world, and she plays them very well here. And that relationship is the idea that even though he hasn't really spoken to her in almost a decade, he loves her so much he can't see the hatefulness that she's doing. It's the world around Charlie that's giving the hate. It's not the film. I didn't read it as that. I didn't read it as Aronofsky going, "Ooh, look at this guy," making a spectacle out of him. I didn't see like that at all. It's, look at this soul. Look at this beautiful person and the world around him. And look at how he's being treated by the world. That's what I saw this movie as, with the exception of Hong Chow's character, of course. But a lot of people are probably wondering at this point, why haven't you mentioned Brendan Fraser? Because saying Brendan Fraser's performance is great at this point is like saying the sky is blue. But I still should mention it. It's phenomenal. It's like, it's one of the best acting performances ever. I mean, it deserves to be up there with, Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker, and, I don't know what other example to give, Marlon Brando in The Godfather. It's in that league. And to know what Brendan Fraser has gone through in his own life and career, and to see all of that in the performance, there's this heartbreaking scene where his ex-wife is trying to give him a wake-up call to his daughter's behavior, and he is just insistent. And he breaks down, and it's just insistent that he wants one thing: to leave this earth knowing he did right. And he gives it so much. It's such a physical performance, yes, but it's an emotional performance. And he finds the soul underneath the prosthetics and all the this isn't a gimmicky performance. This is not... Yeah. I loved The Whale. I thought this movie was beautiful. Bleak, yes, it is still an Aronofsky film. But I do think that on some level, more than his other films, and I've seen his other films, this is maybe his most accessible, kind of, in that there is a glimmer of hope. It is just a very, very tiny glimmer of, hopeful empathy in this that isn't always in Aronofsky's films. but yeah, I love The Whale. I was completely taken by it. I thought the script was really good. I thought the acting was phenomenal. I thought the filmmaking, which was, a little bit restrained, considering it's very much a stage bound type of story. You can see why it's based on a play. They never leave the house for the 2 hours. I was riveted. I just thought this was a moving, powerful film, and yeah, I'm gonna give it. I know it's a controversial opinion, but I'm gonna give it. You see it, bang, 5 out of 5 stars for The Whale. I really, truly loved this movie. I just thought this was a beautiful piece of work. Yeah, I love this movie. 5 out of 5 stars for The Whale. Let's look on it. Trailer trash. We're almost out of time, so let's do some trailer trash. And shawarma and then get the hell out of here. What do you say? Alright, Chevalier, we've talked about it. Looks really good. John Wick Chapter 4, talked about it. Looks good. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, talked about it. Looks good. 80 for Brady, we talked about it. Looks pretty cute. Broker, this is a new film from South Korea, and it seems to be like a makeshift family forms around this woman who's trying to give her baby up for adoption, and there's like a road trip. Looks like a really feel good movie. I liked the trailer. It made me want to see it. I have heard of this movie. I've not seen the trailer until now, but it's been on some lists. It's already, I think, began its limited rollout. It just hasn't come here yet. Knock at the Cabin. Talked about it. Looks good, I guess, except that I kind of always temper my expectations with Shyamalan, like I've been saying. Showing Up. This is a new movie from Kelly Reichardt, who kind of is hot and cold for me. I liked First Cow. I liked, what was the one with the dog? Wendy and Lucy, I believe. I didn't like Meek's Cutoff. I thought that was really kind of overrated. So yeah, it is kind of interesting because it is a bit of a Fableman's reunion because Michelle Williams and Judd Hirsch are both in this. Yeah, looks good. And then Close. This has been on some other lists. This is, I believe, Belgian film about a very close friendship / burgeoning romance between these two kids. Boys, these two 13, I believe, year old boys. Looks really touching. Looking forward to that one. And was there shawarma? No, but there was like a really unique style to the credits. Also, I should mention this movie is done in an extremely letterbox like aspect ratio, almost like Lighthouse aspect ratio, where it's like a little box in the middle there with like the 2 bars. And that kind of was, yeah. All right. That is it. We will be back maybe this weekend. We're gonna maybe do some catch-up reviews this weekend. I'm thinking Triangle of Sadness and All Quiet on the Western Front maybe. Next week, we got a packed week. We got reviews of Shin Ultraman on Wednesday. We got a review of reviews coming up for The Devil Conspiracy, which looks batshit awesome, crazy. Plane, House Party, and more to come. That'll all be next time. And until next time, I'm Grant, the movie and TV guy. I see it all. I'm happy to share it with you. I love you all. I appreciate you all. I love you all, class dismissed. I love you 3000. Be kind to one another. If you like this video, give it a like if you want to. Give it a subscribe if you want to. Give it the bell. I don't know what it does, but that's what you're supposed to do. Or so I've been told. If you want to find me elsewhere, reviews, lists, and other fun stuff, you can check me out on letterboxd.com at Raised on Popcorn with Grant. Twitter, I'm at Raised Grant. You can find me on Facebook, Raised on Popcorn with Grant. Serialized, I'm all one word, all lowercase, Raised on Popcorn. Check out my podcast, Raised on Popcorn with Grant, the podcast, on Spotify and Anchor. Leave a comment, even if it's, "Hey Grant, I like waffles," it really helps out. Some of you already have, but even if you haven't, take care of yourself, take care of your mental health. It's incredibly important, and I want to know down below, what did you think of The Whale? Did you like the movie? Did you hate the movie? Think my opinion's good? Think I'm full of shit? Comment below, let me know. And until we meet again, we were all raised on popcorn. Make mine with extra butter. Catch you guys next time. Take care. Bye.